Okay, here we are for the next segment, and for the next segment, we're going to be going down to southern Limgrave, also called the Weeping Peninsula. There's a very specific shield that we want to get for no other reason than it's going to help us with stamina recovery. But let's take a look at the map first of what we just did. So what we've done is, down in Liurnia, we opened up the Liurnia Lakeshore, Laskier Ruins, Scenic Isle, Academy Gate Town, Foot of the Four Belfries, Sorcerer's Isle, Road to the Manor, and Bellum Church, all sites of grace. We picked up all of those. We picked up a crap ton of level 2 smithing stones. We picked up three new map pieces, all for Liurnia Lakes, and we picked up a golden seed. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start from the Church of Ella, where we basically started the game, and we're going to go down here to this bridge, and we're going to go across the bridge, and we're going to open up some of the map down here, which is called the Weeping Peninsula. There's a lot of stuff to do down here that can be considered early game, plus there are some things to pick up, some people to kill, and so on. So the first thing that we'll do is we'll head to right around here to pick up a Site of Grace, and that'll give us a nice launching point down south. Oh. There should only be 3 of these. These are quick 3 kills. And they're guarding something. It's a golden room. And a small one at that. But hey, you know, every little bit helps. So, piece of advice this early in the game. Be very careful about entering this lake. It is guarded by a dragon that at the moment you can't see. But, oh, trust me, he's there. And he will wreck your day if you don't know how to deal with him. And if your weapon isn't leveled up well enough. Oh, I'd forgotten about this. Ah, level 1 smithing stone. Now, a little bit later, before you take on your first major boss, maybe you want to take on the dragon, just for the runes. But make sure you clear out as much of the lake beforehand as you can. Oh, but there's a crab there. I don't want to mess with the crab. Yeah, so here's the Site of Grace that I was talking about. And while we're at it, because I forgot to do this earlier, let's go ahead and sit down. And what we're going to do is go to the Ashes of War section. And we're going to choose the katana, change the Ash of War to the Hoarfrost Stomp. And that is going, but make sure to use the standard affinity. Remember I talked about the whetstone knives being able to provide different affinities. The standard is all we have access to right now. As we find more knives, we will get access to others, and they will affect the scaling of our weapons. So right now we're D on strength and D on dexterity, but for example, if we find, I believe it's the iron whetstone knife, it will allow us to give keen and quality affinities. The quality is C and C, and the keen is E for strength and B, as in Brian, for dexterity. Therefore, the damage can be affected based on your leveling in those particular things. And of course, dexterity being one of the primary attributes for a samurai, you're going to probably want to go with keen, unless you decide to go a hybrid build. I'm just getting you started. What you do with this character after you use this guide is completely up to you. You can always come and ask me, though. Okay, so we've now got ourselves a starting point. Oh, I didn't actually switch it. Sorry, missed that. My bad. There we go. Okay, now I've got it set up correctly. The Hoarfrost Stomp is one of the most effective ways to get through specific areas that you'll see in the next segment that we're going to be getting more smithing materials from. Oh wow, he dropped a smithing stone. Okay, so we've got a bridge here. This bridge has a ballista on it and a whole bunch of soldiers, but it also has a couple of really key items, and we'll get some runes for killing some people. Recommendation: storm it, but run straight through. Don't even bother stopping, because they're going to be too slow to get you anyway. Run right on past them, off here to the right, and we're now on the Weeping Peninsula, and we just found ourselves another site of grace. Now, here's the cool thing. You can sneak... Every one of them are going to de-aggro, turn around, and face the other direction. That's the way that their AI was written. So, it is all going to be about backstabs. However, now that we've got the Hoarfrost Stomp, you can actually take them on head-on. It's completely up to you. I'm going to save my Hoarfrost Stomp for the next segment when we go into Limgrave Tunnels, Murkwater Cave, and so on. And just like that, I killed 2. But you'll also notice my FP bar went down. That's why I now have 1 flask that is strictly for the restoral of FP. Okay. So we'll grab this item here. Another smithing stone. And then we'll kill this guy. Make sure to grab the smoldering butterflies. And then I'll leave it up to you if you want to take care of those 2 guys or not. It's completely up to you. Alright. Time to head to the next section, which is to get another Site of Grace, meet another merchant, and to get the Tortoise Shell Shield. Try saying that 5 times fast. Now, there is a caravan up here with a guard and some dogs. It's up to you as to whether or not you want to go in there. There is a Morning Star in there, which provides blunt damage and is great against, armored enemies of many different types. And for other particular builds, that might work very well. Make sure you grab this particular scarab. Oh, crap. Yeah, on horseback, you do get a little bit more poise than you normally would. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay, so we're going to be continue to head south. And we're going to be heading eventually for this map piece. But before we do that, we're going to be over here. Matter of fact, I think it's just past these dogs. No, I'm in the wrong place. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong place. Let me go back to the road. Ah, there's where I want to go. Yeah, just look for the fire. And that gives us another site of grace. Access to another merchant. This merchant, there's nothing really special about him. It's just if you happen to be in this area, it's a place that you can, stock up on arrows or what have you. I think I'm actually going to stock up on a few. Oh, let's see. He also, by the way, certain merchants have, you can see that right here, stone sword keys. As I mentioned, they're used to open up closed off areas. The merchants tend to sell them for cheaper prices, but they have a very, very limited amount. This guy only has one. So if you ever need one, see about the merchants. There's one particular merchant that we're going to be getting the grace point for a little bit later, like 2 segments from now, that actually has 3 available, and they're 2,000 apiece. The 2 ladies in Round Table Hold sell them for 4,000 apiece. So it's worth finding the merchants who sell them in case you ever need them. Alright, I've got 27. Let's go 23. Alright, that's 50. That works. Alright, so from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go use this well point to jump up to the top of the ramparts. And specifically, that tower. And by doing so, I get the Great Turtle Shell. Now, I told you earlier I wasn't going to be using a shield. And that's right, I'm not. I'm going to be equipping it, but I'm not going to use it. Matter of fact, I can't. My strength isn't high enough. At least not at the moment. We'll probably get it up there, or you will probably get it up there later in the game. However, as I said, I'm not going to equip it. I'm going to two-hand my sword, put it on my back, and you'll notice underneath of my stamina bar, there's now a little up arrow letting me know that I'm now getting stamina recovery speed increase. That was the whole purpose of getting the shell. If you ever want to use it, it's completely up to you. It's actually a very, very good shield. But the key thing for a dex-based player, you want the stamina recovery. And trust me, some of these bosses, you're going to need them. Okay, now I got to remember how to get down from here. Oh, actually, never mind. We'll just drop down. So that particular site of grace was the Castle Morn Rampart. I'm bringing this up because Castle Morn is an important spot on the map. It is another place for side quests. It is also another place for a boss fight. A very tough boss fight. One that took me quite a while. But it's worth potentially getting it, especially if you're a strength build player and you want access to a really, really cool greatsword. In the meantime, we're going to be continuing to get the next map piece. Next to the map piece is another little golden tree to get us another golden seed to move towards our next flask improvement. However, there is a big golem protecting the castle that you can see right there in the distance. And the minute he sees us coming over this rise, he's going to start shooting very, very, very large arrows at us. So we're going to need to be quick. And then head right. Over this direction. Okay, now the tree I gotta remember where the tree is. I think we're actually a little bit too far north. We are. Alright, we need to go up. There it is right there, over on the right hand side. I was afraid of that. Man, that was extremely well timed by him. Now, you'll notice just then, I got hit. I didn't take any damage. My horse did. That's what I talked about with the Roa fruit. And I'll show you how to craft the healing item related to the Roa fruit in a second. Let me get out of the way here. Okay, so we go... Oh, that's right, I don't have the crafting kit yet. Alright, so as the end of this segment... Oh, it still considers me in combat. Oh, there's another glowing skull, so... There we go. Alright, so now we have the map for the Weeping Peninsula. And we're going to do some more things here on the Weeping Peninsula for farming reasons in a little bit. But for right now, let's go back to the Church of Ella as a nice central point. And I have enough, so let me buy the crafting kit.
Wait, well, you're back.
From our gentleman friend here.
Goodbye.
Which now allows me to, oops, go to the item crafting menu. And right here, Roa Raisin. This is a healing item for the horse. And you can do it mounted. I put it in my pouch. Makes it very, very easy for you to keep your horse healed up as you're out in combat. And there's a fight a little bit later on that you might actually see me using it very handily. I use it sometimes again in the dragon fight. So I'm going to go ahead and create about 20 of these. And you can craft on horseback. Something to keep in mind. So, I'm then going to put it here in my pouch. Put it right there. I'm also going to put the lantern in my pouch so I can turn it on easily enough. And that's going to end this particular segment. In the next segment, we're going to be focused on smithing materials, really finding as many smithing materials as we can. We'll also start farming some runes against some bosses and things that I think are cool for us to take care of. and we'll also make sure to get the first major key item that everyone needs to find in order to move forward in the game, as well as the last Ash of War that we'll need, that I recommend for the Samurai before taking on Margit in the Stormvale Castle.